Welcome to Choices with Jeanette. I'm Jeanette Harris, and thank you so much for watching Choices with Jeanette. I am here with one of my favorite people on the face of the earth. Yes, her name is, well, she has so many titles. I'll get to her name at the end. State Representative Dr. Alma Allen. And she has a lot of other titles as well. We're not going to cover those today. We have so much information. But the first thing I'm going to ask you is this. Okay. Will you come back?
I sure will.
I'm serious. There's so much that needs to be talked about.
Absolutely.
You all just finished the 85th legislative session. And
700 bills were passed.
700?
700 bills were passed. So we have a lot to talk about, and we can only talk about a few today, but I'll be happy to come back and talk about more.
Now, your background is in education.
That's my background.
Tell me, what does it look like in education? I know they're talking about the bullying with the children. Can we start with the bullying?
Yes, we can start with the bullying. There's a bill that passed for students. If a child commits suicide, and it's found that another child has been bullying him through texting or whatever, then there'll be harsh penalties. Then that is a felony for that. And I want children to understand that, particularly teenagers who sometimes, children can be kind of mean sometimes, but we're going to have to pay careful attention to what you do, because you can go to jail for that, and I want them to know that.
They can actually go to jail for that.
It's a felony, which will change your life, yes. It will change your life forever, and your life will be ruined. And you've done it when you were a teenager, and you have no thoughts about the consequences of what you're doing, but it is a felony now.
Wow.
Yes.
One of the 700?
Yes.
Wow.
That's just one.
That's one of the 700?
Yes.
You all were working hard.
Yeah. Oh, we filed almost 8,000 bills, and only 700 got through. All got signed by the governor. Effective September the 1st. That's the first day when all of the bills are filed. Wow. One more for the teenagers.
Okay.
One more for adults.
Okay.
No texting and driving. No texting and driving. I know that's out there, but I want to make sure that they get that message, because kind of if you've been used to texting and driving, you have a habit, and you'll keep on doing it. Because I'll reach for my phone now, just out of habit. And so I want them to know that those are fines.
I am trying to adjust. Ooh, that's a good one. Let's go back to the teachers. And then I want you to talk about the money that has been put into education.
Okay, or the lack of money.
Since 2006.
Yes. Another bill that's really of interest to educators is teachers' misconducts with students. And that is high on the priority list. And it is a warning for teachers and educators that an inappropriate relationship with students will not be tolerated. And that can garnish you a jail sentence too. The last case I remember, the person got 10 years in jail. So we want to avoid that. And so as much as you can, teach. Be a professional.
Now, your background is in education, and that's your heart.
That's
your
my passion.
Daughter is
that's my passion.
Ex-principal over in
McGregor Elementary. She was at McGregor. My son was the principal of Jones. He's in central office now. My daughter's at Wheatley. My granddaughter's at Wheatley High School. She's teaching over there. So my whole family is education, and education is important to me.
It's very important. Now, let's talk about the money in the field of education.
We didn't fare very well in terms of money.
Why?
Well, I tell you what, there is a movement to take over public education. So if you take the money away, it will just completely dry up. So this year, this session, we only got out one bill that really says we're going to study how to do financing in education. We've already studied it. If you haven't put any money in it since 2006, then you know the problem is big. Every year, 80,000 new students coming to the Texas system. 80,000, and I want you to think Texas, not just Houston, come in. And we meet every 2 years. So that's 160,000 children that come into the educational system in the state of Texas, and no money for 10 years. That's 10 years.
They know things change.
You know that. You know that? But we didn't get any money for any game. We were very disappointed with that. We led a great charge, but we didn't get any money for that.
So on a case like that, what can the people, the citizens do?
Yeah, they can vote. That's the most
Okay.
important thing. On election day, I can tell you what bills are going to pass, because I can tell you, because of the number of people there, how many Democrats, how many Republicans, how many of another fraction are there. And so it's important that we get involved and vote. While we're talking about voting, may I
Okay.
say this? That in the year 2020, when we're running for president, when we're having our president election, there will be no straight ticket voting. And we have been used to doing straight ticket voting. When I say straight ticket, you just go in and punch any party, and that's it. You just take everybody on the ballot, you vote them in. In 2020, you'll have to go down every name. My name, Alma Allen, whoever's.
So you really got to be educated.
You have to go. You don't vote straight ticket, but you can go D or down the ticket. So okay.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
which is going to take up time, and it's going to take. You have to be knowledgeable.
Yes.
And you have to be patient. It may even generate long lines, but you have to stay and do it.
That's the new way we're going
That's
to do it.
what's going to happen in 2020.
But
The
not in
presidential
2018.
No.
But 2020 it'll be
2020.
up and going.
There you
Wow.
go. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So we got to get used to that, and we got to educate our people. And so for those people who are listening, please tell somebody else or spread the word. No.
We will have to know who we're voting for.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Just go down the line and vote what you want. You can still vote a straight ticket, but you got to do it one at a time.
Let's talk about redistricting.
Please, let's talk about redistricting. That's going to be a big subject when we go back to session next time.
Okay.
It will be the 86th legislative session. This is when you draw the boundary lines in every district. And I want to just take a minute to really educate people on this. When we take the census, and the census is very important, it's important that you do your census and not be afraid to do it. We take account of the number of people in the state of Texas, and then we, for example, there are 150 of us in the House, in the legislature. So you divide the number of people in the state of Texas by the 150, and you come up with the number of people that you should have in your district. So for my district, which is 131, when they average it out, all of us should have had something like 160,000 people in our district. Well, when they counted it out, I needed 14,000 more people in my district. So now we redraw the boundary lines.
Oh my goodness.
And we redraw the boundary lines every 10 years. So for those people who are in power, sometimes draw the boundary lines to help their party to vote. So you can gerrymander the lines around, and we get so many Republicans and so many Democrats, and so it really gives you control over the vote when we come up for 2020, which is important this year because the next presidential election will be impacted by redistricting. And so we got to get people educated on this. And so redistricting is very, very important. It's important who you have in office. So I'm encouraging people to vote. This vote is important. You do not elect your president, but you elect your congresspeople, all of those around him. And so we have a tendency to vote when it's the presidential election and not the cycle when it's the offset election. We don't vote. We don't go back to give. We remember Obama, he was president, but he didn't have the support of the House and the Congress because we don't vote. Because next time around, we're voting for the House and the Congress, and we must go back to vote. We're voting for the people who are going to be in the House and the Senate in Texas. This is the most important vote. It's the off-election year.
Wow. So you've been in office since 2004.
13 years.
13 years. What have you seen?
I've seen it change. I've seen it change, and I've always been there when we were. I have never been there when we had a Democratic governor.
Governor.
So I've always been in the minority party, but I've seen things really change. There, when we thought of the Republicans and the Democrats being on the floor of the House. That's not true anymore. We have the Republicans, the Democrats, the Christian rights, and the Tea Party is on the floor. So we have 4 fractions there. And so things are very, very different now. And so we must be a participant at the polls so you can determine who's going to be there representing you and how many of you will be representing the people when we go back to the House.
I interviewed you back in 2011, 12, somewhere back in there. And one thing I left that interview saying, I asked you questions like, why didn't you all and why don't we have? And you said, people don't vote.
That's right. So right now, it's a good example of that. In the House, we have 54 Democrats and 96 Republicans. So where's the power? And so the other side of that coin is the Speaker of the House comes from the party that has the majority. So the Speaker of the House will come from the Republican Party. The Speaker of the House appoints the committees, the Education Committee, the Urban Affairs Committee, every committee, he appoints every committee. So they have the ability to control the number of people on the committees, and usually the Republican Party will outnumber them. Example, I'm on the Education Committee and I'm on the Corrections Committee.
Correct.
That's those are my committees now. But the Education Committee is stacked, and the Democrats are 5, I think it's 5 of the 15 people who are there. And the Corrections Committee is stacked, and it's 2 Democrats, I think, and the rest are Republicans. So the power is where the power is. That controls everything. And so that's when I say on election night, I can tell you every vote that's going to pass.
You can tell us already.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
And so people will ask, is the SB4, which is the immigration bill, is that going to pass? Yes, because they have the votes for it.
Wow.
Yeah, they outnumber us in terms
So
of
when we're hoping, we're sitting at home hoping
Yeah.
that you all would do
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
You can't do anything because we
There
didn't
you
vote.
go. There you go. There you go. And that's going to be really, really important this election year.
It's just stacked against you.
It's stacked against us already.
And we're sitting there going, I hope they do something
Yeah,
about that.
it's
There's
over.
nothing they can do about that.
It's over.
We missed it at the polls.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to fix that.
Absolutely.
We're going to encourage people to vote. I want
Yes.
you to do that right
Yeah.
now. Look in that camera and talk straight to them and tell them.
Let me talk to them.
Okay,
I
talk
really
straight.
do. I'm a teacher, and I like to teach. I really encourage people to go to the polls and vote. This election, the truth is, vote every election, and then you'll catch the right election. But become a voter, and you can only be a voter if you vote in every election. When we run for office, the first thing we do is we look up the people who are voters. If you voted in 3 elections, that means you're a voter. 3 consecutive elections, that means you're a voter. And so we cater to those people who vote. I'm going to send you some mail. If you vote 2 times, the next person, maybe I'll send you some mail if I have some money left over.
Okay.
But
the people you know are going to vote, those are the people
That's
that
right.
you're catering
and
to.
everybody else does that too. And so when you get things done, they know the people or the pockets of people or the race of people who are going to vote, and that's so important.
So
that you
everything
become
is
a
already
voter.
done.
That's right.
Unless we educate more people
That's right.
and graft more people in, it's already done.
Already done. Already done. So that means everybody.
So I can just hush my mouth.
When you leave the voting booth.
Just
On election night, you can hush your mouth.
okay, we're
Election
going to have to
night.
talk this year.
Yeah,
We're going to have to
We'll
talk.
talk a lot.
We're going to
We'll
do
talk a
better.
lot.
We can do better though.
We must.
Okay.
We must. We
Look at-
cannot take it for granted. And we can't say they're going to do what they're going to do. No, we can't say that at all. We must be involved. We must be involved.
And lastly, the thing is, we have to stop trusting people to do right by us. We need to stop that.
You do. You do. We really do. Because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I tell when they asked me about education and why we didn't put money in education, and education is important, and I'm saying, you're looking at through your rose-colored glasses. That's not what the other side is thinking. So please get involved in voting. And let me encourage educators to vote, teachers to vote, because there is a record that teachers
No, don't say
don't vote.
that.
Yes, I have to say that. I have to say that because these are my people. And we have a reputation for not getting involved in the political process. And so I'm encouraging them to do that this year. Make a change and do that. That's why we don't get money. That's why we don't get attention in education.
Wow. Tell me about the Class A misdemeanor.
Okay, this is a bill I filed, Class A misdemeanor. If you receive a Class A misdemeanor, and let me give you a little scenario to do. This girl came to me and she had a Class A misdemeanor for leaving her baby in the car. She wanted to run into the store. The baby was sick. She wanted to run into the store to get some medicine, and she left the baby in the car while she was in the store. Okay, she came out, and of course she said to the police, yeah, I did. I went in the store. You know, she wasn't doing it. And I went in the store, and she was taken to court, and she pled guilty, and she got for a Class A misdemeanor. Not you think Class A misdemeanor, but it has an impact on your life. You can't get a job, you can't get housing, you can't get an education, you can't do anything. Think about the impact of that
Wow.
for a baby. And the baby now is 14 years old. So if you can't get a house or you can't get an education, you can make a living for the baby. So Class A misdemeanors are serious. So if you get involved in one, don't just take a plea to say, I'm guilty, you know, it's a misdemeanor. No, no, no. It interrupts your whole entire life. For life, forever.
A
so
misdemeanor.
Now we found, yeah, a
A Class A misdemeanor.
Class A misdemeanor.
Will
Jaywalking will get you, yes.
Are
class,
you
If you
serious?
plead guilty to that, yes. And so now, with the Class A misdemeanor, what the bill says is that if you got a Class A misdemeanor and it was 2 years ago and you have done nothing else, you can appeal to the courts. It won't be available to your employees.
Great.
It'll be available to the police or but it won't be available to your employees, which give you a chance.
Okay. If you have a Class A misdemeanor and it's been 2 years and you have not done anything else,
Yeah, you can make an appeal to the courts.
you can make an appeal to the courts.
This is a bill I filed.
If it's been 2 years and you have not done anything else, you can go to the court system and have that record.
Ask for non-disclosure of records, right?
Wow.
So it won't be disclosed.
Wow.
Yep.
And so will not be disclosed to your employees, so you can go forward in your
Yes,
life.
yes.
But they still have the record.
Yeah.
But it's not going to affect your life where you can't
Right.
move around.
Right, can't
Okay.
get a job, can't get
move
an
up.
education, can't do anything.
Wow.
Can't take care of your kids, can't take care of yourself, can't get an apartment either.
My goodness.
Yes.
It's just locked up. They're
it's-
finding ways to just
yes.
lock it down.
Yeah.
Lock it down.
Pipeline to the prison system.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You said you'd come back.
Yeah, I will. I will.
I'm serious now.
I will. I really will.
I'm serious. I want you back before the end of the year.
You got it.
Okay, I'm here. Video recording the second
You got it.
Friday of every month.
You got it.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed her as much as I did. She has a wealth of knowledge, and we want to bring her back. I know you're getting ready to go meet with the governor, and I hope we get good news from him. I hope that press conference is good news.
I do too.
Me too.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to having you again.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Factsverse presents 10 Things You Did Not Know the Use For. Number 1. The loop on the back of your shirt. Most people look at the loop on the back of their shirt and wonder what it's for. There is a purpose for it on the back of your shirt. There are actually 3 documented reasons, and it's unknown which is correct. The first is the most obvious. It's a way to hang your shirt on a hook. This doesn't make sense, however, because if you hang your shirt on a hook by that loop, it will become wrinkled quickly. The second could be a way to help you fasten your tie easier. The last purpose is more romantic. Years ago, American university students were said to have removed the loop from the shirt when they started dating a girl exclusively. To show she was taken, the girl would wear a scarf with the university's emblem. Number 2. The cylinder on your laptop's power cable. Most people see the cylinder on their laptop's power cable every day and have no idea what it's for. Some believe that it's for decoration. It's called a ferrite bead, and it suppresses high-frequency noise in the electrical circuits. The design is quite simple. It's made from ferrite and it's wrapped to protect it. Number 3. The tiny hole in the window of a plane. Airplane windows are made up of 2 pieces of perspex, which is plastic glass. Without the tiny hole in the window, the inner piece of glass would shatter due to the difference in pressure between the plane's cabin and the outside. The tiny hole lets air move from the cabin into the other pane of glass. The tiny hole equalizes the pressure between the 2 panes. It's what keeps the cabin of the plane safe. For such a tiny little detail, it has a huge life-saving purpose. Number 4. The blue part of the eraser. Most people think that the pink part of the eraser is for pencil marks and the blue part is for pen marks. This is not true. When you erase your pencil marks with the pink part, it's not uncommon for some pencil smudge to be left behind. The blue part is designed to remove any of the pencil smudges. When the eraser producers realized that people didn't understand the true reason for the blue part of the eraser, they started marketing it to remove pen marks. Many erasers even have a picture of a pen printed on the blue part of the eraser, even though that was not its original purpose. Number 5. The extra eyelets on your sneakers. Most people believe that the extra eyelets on their sneakers are just there for decoration. This is false. The extra eyelets are designed to fix the shoes in place so that they don't rub against your ankles when you are running or playing sports. If you start using them, you might notice a big difference, especially if you're wearing ankle socks. The extra eyelets also give you more stability in your ankles. Number 6. The hole in a spaghetti spoon. All spaghetti spoons have a hole in the bottom. Some people believe it is so the water drains when you are stirring the spaghetti. The actual purpose is to measure out an accurate amount of spaghetti for one serving. While people often eat different amounts of spaghetti, the amount that fits in the hole is considered one serving. Number 7. The little pocket within the big pocket on your jeans. This is one of the most common things that you probably don't know what it is. Most people think that the small pocket of the jeans is just for decoration. The little pocket actually served a purpose a few years ago. The first time the little pocket was seen was on Levi's jeans back in 1873. Back then, pocket watches were very popular, and the small pocket was designed to hold the watch. Today, since people don't really carry pocket watches anymore, the little pockets really don't have much of a purpose. Number 8. The extra scrap of material that comes with new clothes. Many people believe that the extra scrap material is to patch the article of clothing if it rips or to replace a button. This is not true. The actual reason that clothing manufacturers add the scraps of material is so that you can wash it first. This will let you see how the laundry detergent and the washing cycle will affect the clothing. This will save you from ever fading or shrinking an outfit the first time you wash it. Number 9. The hole in the top of a pen cap. People believe that the hole at the top of the pen cap will allow air to get into their lungs if they accidentally swallow the cap. If you were to swallow anything and it gets stuck in your trachea, the mucous membranes will start to swell. The hole in the cap will keep it from becoming absorbed in the membrane. Number 10. The snap on your pockets of your jeans. The snaps on the pockets are not called snaps, they're called rivets. A great deal of fabric is gathered and stitched at the pockets. This area needs more strength due to the extra stitching, and the rivets will give the pocket more strength, preventing it from tearing.
Weeping may endure for a night.
if you have not had a family member to die and find out they didn't have a will, that is not a happy time. So my words of comfort to you is, I used to say this back in the day. I used to say, well, we're all gonna die. And that didn't give anyone any peace of mind. So I'm trying a new approach. My new approach is simply to tell you, you wanna leave a will. Reason you wanna leave a will is because if you leave a will, it will be peace of mind to your family. And maybe you're saying, well, you know, I don't want one to think I love the other one better. If you think this one is better off with whatever you have, that's your prerogative. That's your right. And you will leave them better off if you leave a will as opposed to not leaving a will. People are already mourning over you. Now, give them peace by not letting them have to fight. I'm Jeanette Harris, and thank you so much for watching Choices with Jeanette. You know, in November of 2018, I would have been doing Choices with Jeanette for 20 years. I'm only 26. How did I do it? I'll tell you later.
Sometimes there's nothing you can do but pack your clothes in a rented truck and leave. So I crammed into a studio apartment and bet on the world of limousines and rooftop gardens. It's my chance to go farther. I came to find my way in this concrete jungle. I look at the road and see plenty of potholes. I can't wave the white flag and go home. I jumped off the Wheaties box into the unknown.